They say hindsight is 20/20, but no one tells you how loud your regrets can get when you're lying awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering when the truth really started. It wasn't the camera I found behind the bookshelf. It wasn't even the night I came home and caught her whispering on the phone in the bathroom at 2 a.m. It started with a conversation I laughed off. Her sister, Emily, was always the odd one out. Quiet, observant. The kind of person you forget is even in the room until she says something that freezes the air. We were cleaning up after dinner when she leaned in, just loud enough for me to hear. "Quentin, I don't mean to cause trouble, but maybe you should look closer at what's going on in your house." I chuckled. "What's that supposed to mean?" She just shook her head and said, "You'll see." That was 6 weeks ago, and I thought nothing of it. Now I can't unsee any of it, because the truth was always there, right in front of me, recording everything. After Emily's cryptic warning, I tried to shrug it off, but it lingered, like an itch in the back of my mind I couldn't reach. It started small. My phone charger kept disappearing from the nightstand. Then my laptop, which I always left closed, started showing a different screen when I opened it, as if someone had just been using it. I asked Avery, my wife, about it. She laughed. "You're imagining things, babe. You've been overworked lately. Maybe get some rest." She had this way of making me feel like I was being ridiculous. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling. So I tested something. I placed a piece of clear tape over the crack of my study door, something subtle. The next day, the tape was broken, and Avery swore she hadn't been in there. Again, I let it go. I told myself it was nothing. But then the Amazon packages started arriving, tiny boxes, unmarked. When I asked, she said it was skincare, but I couldn't find any new bottles in the bathroom. One night, I finally checked the trash. Inside one of those Amazon boxes was a small instruction manual, wireless camera, motion activated, app controlled. My stomach dropped. I hadn't installed any camera in our home, but someone had. The manual wasn't enough to prove anything, but I couldn't sleep. So that night, I messaged Emily. "Emily, what did you mean the other day about Avery? Please, I need to know." A few moments later, she replied, "You didn't hear it from me, but Avery's been acting weird since you guys installed the Nest Cam. Check the corners of your bedroom. And Quentin, don't tell her I said anything." That sentence froze me. Check the corners of your bedroom. I glanced at the standing lamp in the corner. Its shade was slightly tilted. I walked over slowly and saw it, a tiny black circle hidden beneath the fabric. I reached in and pulled out a small, wireless camera. It had a blinking light, and worse, it had a micro SD card. I sat on the edge of the bed, holding it in my hand, feeling like the air had been knocked out of me. Who put this here? Why? And who's been watching us? But even worse, was it Avery or someone else? I didn't know what I was expecting when I inserted the micro SD card into my laptop, but it sure wasn't this. The first few clips were normal. Me, brushing my teeth. Avery getting ready for work. Our bedroom looked like any couple's. But then I noticed something strange. In one video from 3 weeks ago, Avery walked into the room, alone. She adjusted the camera angle. Then, she sat on the edge of the bed talking, but not to me, to someone on her phone. No, he doesn't suspect anything. Quentin's too trusting. You were right. Setting this up was easy. My stomach twisted. Was this a prank? A misinterpreted joke? Then came the next clip. She wasn't alone anymore. A man entered the room. He looked familiar. I had seen him once. Avery's co-worker, the one she always insisted was just a friend. They kissed on our bed, right in front of the camera, and I sat there watching it, feeling like a fool. My wife had installed a camera to record her affair, or worse, to mock me. I was numb. I sat in front of the screen for what felt like hours, replaying the footage, every detail, every laugh, every betrayal. It was all right there. I wanted to scream, to cry, to destroy something, but instead, I called Rachel, Avery's sister. She answered after the second ring. "Quentin, you okay?" I didn't know where to start, so I just asked, "How long have you known?" There was silence, then a sigh. "I tried to tell you. I didn't know about the camera, but I knew something was off. Avery started acting different months ago, cold, secretive, and that coworker, they've had history. They dated in college. It didn't end well, but a few months back, I saw them together, too close for comfort." Rachel was shaking. I could hear it in her voice. "I told her what she was doing was wrong, that she had to stop. She told me to mind my own business. She said you wouldn't believe me anyway." And she was right. I didn't want to believe. I defended her when I should have been paying attention. I couldn't avoid it any longer. I had to confront her. I waited until she came home from work. She walked in like everything was normal, like my world hadn't just collapsed. "Hey babe, you hungry?" I didn't respond. I was sitting at the kitchen table, the camera in front of me. She froze when she saw it. What's that?" I didn't blink. "Why don't you tell me?" Her eyes darted around the room, then back to me. "Where did you get that?" I leaned forward. "Rachel told me about your friend, the one from college, the one you're seeing again. And this," I pointed to the camera, "this shows me everything." She tried to act outraged. "You went through my stuff? You invaded my privacy?" I laughed, bitterly. "You hid a camera in our bedroom, Avery. You don't get to talk about privacy." She didn't deny it. She didn't even look guilty. She just shut down. And in that moment, I realized something. She wasn't sorry. She was sorry she got caught. That night, she packed a bag and left. No apologies, no explanations, just silence. I sat in our bedroom for hours, staring at the space where the camera had been. Every memory we built in that room, tainted. The next day, her sister Rachel came over. She looked heartbroken. "I tried to tell you sooner," she said. "I thought maybe she'd change, that she'd stop seeing him." I nodded. I appreciated her honesty, but the wound was too fresh. Rachel told me everything. The secret meetings, the way Avery talked about me behind my back, how long it had been going on. It wasn't just cheating, it was betrayal on every level. And the worst part? I had trusted her with my entire life. The divorce was quiet. She didn't fight for anything. Not the house, not even the dog. Maybe it was guilt, or maybe she knew there was no coming back from what she did. I moved out of that apartment a month later. New place, new locks, no hidden cameras. Rachel kept in touch. Oddly enough, she became one of the few people I could trust. "You didn't deserve any of that," she said one day, "but maybe this was the only way you'd ever be free." And she was right. I started over, not just as a man healing from betrayal, but as someone finally choosing peace over suspicion. Some nights, I still wonder what would have happened if I never found that camera. But then I remember, sometimes the truth doesn't just hurt, it saves you.